be speaking in Spanish. There are headphones for simultaneous translation for those who would like it right outside in the front. So this would be a really good time to get that. And there they go. Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to remind you that one of our panelists will be speaking in Spanish. So there are headphones for simultaneous translation. They're available outside, right outside the hall. So you might want to prepare yourself now for that presentation by getting your headphones. Masculinities and media. We have several wonderful presentations. We have 4 presentations, although you might not know that from the seating arrangements up here at the moment. However, what I'm going to do, I'm Michael Kimmel. I'm going to introduce each of the panelists before they speak, but I'll just introduce them in order so that you'll know who they are before I introduce them more formally. Dr. Sharada, Malika Dutt, PETA, Guadalupe Cortez Hernandez, also known as PETA, and we have a special guest who hasn't yet arrived. So he's represented by Kermit the Frog and Elmo, who are just placeholders. He will be here soon, and we have very different. We're going to be talking about some very different media today, and so you'll get a chance to experience some of them. Our first, and the way we're going to work is each of the panelists will give a presentation. Of course, this is the media panel, so they all have media, and then we will each of them will give a presentation, and then we will open it up for questions from you, and I'll field questions. I'll gather a few here or there, or unless they're direct questions for specific people, and then they can answer from here, from their chairs. So, Dr. Sharada, Director of Population First, has been working on making media portrayals of women in the right light through a UNFPA-funded initiative called LADLI. Dr. Sharada has been working in the development sector for 18 years. She was a faculty member at Hyderabad University and the Indian Institute of Health Management Research. She was also associated with SIFPSA, a joint population program of the Government of India, the Government of Uttar Pradesh, and USAID.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to present our work here. More than our work, I would say, our concern and our fight for making media more gender sensitive. People keep asking me, your organization title is Population First. How the hell are you working on gender issues? Why don't you go and do sterilizations, do whatever? But the fact is that we realize that whatever issues we are having in terms of our health and population issues, they are all related to or rooted in what you call the gender issues, violence, discrimination. So we feel that if we really want to have a society where women are able to access good reproductive health services, have a good reproductive and sexual health, and are able to make the right choices and have the right kind of development opportunities, then there is no option but to work on gender issues. So that is how we are linked to our campaign LADLI, because we feel we have no option but to work on gender issues if we really want a better society for ourselves. At the root of this whole gender issue is the undervaluing of women and overvaluing of need for men's control over women's life. So we have a saying in India that a woman is dependent on the father when she's a child, she's dependent on the brother when she grows up, and her husband when she's married, and when the husband, after the husband, she's dependent on the son. So it's always, there is no agency for the woman, there is no negotiation for the woman. She is at the mercy of the choices made by the men. And when we wanted to work on gender, one of the major issues that really confronted us is, do we really make films and advertisements and try to promote them? Because that has a limitation. It is very cost intensive and it is not sustainable. Because how many advertisements I can make? I make a very beautiful advertisement. Where do I show it? Media time is not cheap. I can't show it as much as I want to show. Instead, why not we work with those who are providing or who are developing the content? That was the approach that we have taken. We said, let's work with the content creators. That means the media and advertising professionals. So that is how we narrowed down our complete scope of work to working with media and advertising. I'm focusing only on advertising here. Advertising is important because it creates stereotypes. Even the most modern product, if you take, for instance, cell phones or something, we have an ad for a cell phone. The mother is watering the plants, she's in the background, the girl is somewhere in the corner. The father comes and asks the son, why don't you pay the fee or pay this bill, electricity bill? And the son says, okay, and then he pays it on the mobile. So the whole financial transaction is between the father and the son. Both the mother and daughter are in the background. They're nowhere in the decision making or the conversation. So we have a large number of ads where we find this kind of a gender stereotyping happen. So we wanted, the question that we asked ourselves is there scope to create ads that sell products without compromising on the sensitivity in communicating on gender issues? Do we have to be in-your-face kind of aggressive gender communication? Or can we bring in subtlety and nuances in communication which project a different image of gender equations? So this was the challenge that we had. And also we wanted to know, can we create brand values and brand identities around commitment to gender? Because there are many companies who really understand the importance of gender equality and gender justice. So can we coax them to build their gender identity and their brand identities and values around gender? These were the two, this thing. And how did we engage the advertisers? Ours is a high-touch campaign. We are not dealing with the lower levels of advertising, but we are talking to the thought leaders, the owners of advertising agencies, the managers of advertising agencies, the creative directors of advertising agencies. And then we are engaging with institutions, International Advertising Association, Ad Club, Advertising Standards Committee, and Advertising Associations of India. So we've been dealing with them and dialoguing with them that this is very important to bring these changes in advertising so that we focus on the aspirations, because there is a stereotypical India, there is an aspirational India. So why do we neglect the aspirational India? Because it is much easier to make advertisements within the stereotypes. So can we reach out to the aspirations of the younger generation who want a better gender equations? So this is the conversation we have with them. And we also use the existing platforms to talk about gender sensitivity, like they have the Portfolio Night, which is for the young advertisers, Ad Asia, which is a big ad event in Asia, Goa Fest, which is a yearly advertising festival. So we go make presentations, talk to people there. And I analyze advertisements on a fortnightly basis for a magazine. So all the advertisements that are released during the fortnight, or a select few of them, I analyze them in terms of gender sensitivity. So it gives a kind of feedback to the advertising persons that, okay, this was not good or this was good, why it was good, why it was not good. Similarly, we also have reviewed the Advertising Standards Committee's guidelines and how they are being implemented. We found that sometimes the right decisions are given for the wrong reasons and wrong decisions are given for the right reasons. So I would like to explain one advertisement for vaginal tightening cream, which was banned, but the reason given for banning is, they said the advertisement showed a 65-year-old woman buying a vaginal tightening cream, which is not the reason to ban the advertisement. The reason why there was so much of protest was the ad goes on and on singing, the woman singing, I am a virgin, I feel like a virgin, blah, blah, blah. So, they gave the right decision, but for the wrong reason. So we looked at the Advertising Standards Committee's decisions, and then we are sharing and dialoguing with them. And we have also developed guidelines for them when they are developing the advertisements and also when they are reviewing the complaints on advertisements. What are the things that they need to keep in mind? Because the focus is on indecent representation of women. It is not just enough to be, it's not indecency which is a reason. Sometimes insensitivity is also a cause for offensive advertisement. So how do we balance these two? Like, we have to pay attention to the inappropriateness of gender representations. I give you an example of Mother Dairy. They show, the ad shows a women, sorry, I thought I have a short time, so I didn't pick up the ads and put it in the presentation. A woman is standing next to a man, serving him food, and he says, and after he finishes his food, she says, your trophy is broken. And the man goes berserk. He says, how dare you touch my trophy? Why did you clean my stuff? How many times did I say? And then she keeps saying, sorry, sorry, sorry. And then she comes out of the room, and the boy is watching this whole thing from behind the curtain. And then she tells him, don't play cricket in the room next time. So one is, it is bad parenting. And more importantly, it shows that a woman can be shouted at, and a woman will not say anything back, and there is no negotiation between the husband and wife. So I find that as an offensive ad. It's not, there's nothing offensive, there's no indecency in that. She's fully clothed, everything is very nice, a very beautiful family setup. But it is an ad that is offensive. So we have to be conscious of that. And we also do gender workshops for the advertising agency people. And what is it that is worrisome? In spite of all the efforts, still ads continue to stereotype in a very cute way. When you see the ad, you say, oh, so sweet. Without understanding that, it is actually promoting a kind of a gender stereotype which is not really healthy. And it takes a tentative step towards showing differently, and then they regress 2 steps back. The recent advertisement is the Boss advertisement of one of the mobile companies. It's the woman who is there, and she instructs her junior to stay back and finish the work. And she goes back, and the way she calls up her husband, and she says that, oh, I have, what shall I cook? And then she goes and prepares the food, and she sends a photograph of the food, lavish dinner she prepares, and sends it on mobile to her husband. And the husband is her junior. So in a way, they wanted to show a man accepting a woman as her boss, his boss, or being senior to him. But at the same time, sorry, it's mine, I forgot to. You can switch it off. Switch it off, please. So the thing is that they want to show that women can be bosses of their husbands, but they don't want to show that she is a boss. So they somehow have to bring her back into the domesticity of providing a lavish dinner to her husband. So there was a lot of discussion on this. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it, and it's still doing the conversation is on. So in many ads, he's a very benevolent benefactor of the woman. So he's allowing her to work, he's allowing her to go with her friends, or allowing her to get married and go away with her husband. So that benevolent benefactor image continues in the this thing. In spite, this was also not there earlier, but now it is there, and we still have to work a lot on this. Brand building, there are some companies which have really taken up gender as a serious issue. For instance, HDFC, ICICI, LIC, Havells, Tata. They have done amazing ads showing much better gender equations. And another important thing is that both men and women, particularly in ads referring to the mobiles, TV, laptops, etc., we find more men and more women being shown in the ads and on equal footing. It's not that they are, and also consumer brands, high-end brands. You find, because that's the market. You know, these are the guys who can buy, who can promote brands, so they are very happy, including boys and girls equally in these brands. But when it comes to some traditional brands, again, you go back to the stereotypes. Like sports, bikes, enjoying night parties. So they are saying that women have right to do all these things as much as men. One good thing is very few ads these days glorifying eve teasing. Earlier we had so many ads where Aishwarya Rai or some celebrity is part of an ad which glorifies eve teasing, okay, the so-called eve teasing. Similarly, ads are also showing women as decision makers. And young men are shown as being sensitive and being okay with women doing what they want. They have no issues with women doing what they want. I have a few good ads which I have collected from the last few months. So I would like to show those to you. Oh, sorry.
बेटा तुम रोज सुधा के घर आने से पहले खाना खा लेते हो?
नहीं नहीं, वैसे तो रोज साथ ही खाते हैं। आज काम में अटक गई होगी।
अच्छा एक बात बताओ
जी।
तुम्हारा प्रमोशन हो गया है, अब तुम्हारी सैलरी से घर भी अच्छे से चल जाता होगा।
हाँ।
तो फिर सुधा को काम करने की जरूरत क्या है?
वैसे तो आपका भी घर रिटायरमेंट के बाद बिना काम किए चल जाता है ना। फिर आप क्यों जाते हैं कॉलेज में गेस्ट लेक्चर देने? आपको अच्छा लगता है इसलिए ना। सुधा को भी काम करना अच्छा लगता है, इसलिए करती है।
हम उनसे मिलाते हैं जो आपको समझ पाते हैं।
I would like to, for those who don't follow Hindi, this is a conversation between parents and a son, and the parents are telling him, why do you let your wife work? Because you earn enough, so there is no need for her to work. The son asks him, you have retired and still you're working, why do you work? Because you love working. So same thing, my wife loves working, so she's working. So it is a very, I think, revolutionary in the sense that, I mean, the general assumption that you work only when your husband cannot provide for you. You know, here is somebody saying that she loves to work, so she's working.
Hey man.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
How are you?
Wow. Lovely earrings. Look, Varun, stunning, na?
अरे भाई, इनके पतिदेव ठहरे इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकर, इनके लिए डायमंड इयररिंग्स क्या चीज है?
अबे साले, 6 महीने से घर पे बैठा हूँ, बुक लिख रहा हूँ, नो इनकम। लॉयर मैडम घर चला रही हैं।
Aha, so you're the man of the house, huh?
Even better. I'm the woman of the house.
I think I walked into it.
Yes, you did.
नई रोशनी.
So there was one more, right? No? So this particular ad is very different because in a way it shows that, you know, like a man being comfortable working at home, writing a book, and a woman working. And also the fact that she says, I don't have to be called a man of the house just because I'm earning and doing something. I'm a woman of the house. So it is a kind of an assertion which is really very, very, good. So this is something, these are ads which are very different from the general ads where you have a very stereotypical representation of women.
कह रही हूँ सेटल हो जा कब तक अकेला रहेगा यूएसए में एक कप गरम कॉफी पीने के लिए भी बाहर जाना पड़ता है ठंड में
एक मिनट हाँ कुछ लीजिए ना 24 आवर्स कॉफी इसी के साथ सेटल हो जाइए नो वीजा प्रॉब्लम शादी के लिए रेडी है क्या है ना आंटी जी आई एम नॉट अ किचन अप्लायंस
Havells Appliances. Respect women.
This is a series of ads which show that women are not appliances, and very nicely done. Earlier, Havells has done a series of ads on inclusivity, which were really very amazing. So Havells has taken, the first set of ads are called Hawa Badlegi, the winds will change, and it had some amazing concepts which were shown. So the thing is that we thought I think after these ads, the value of Havells, it came into the public mind that there is a brand called Havells. So the thing is that it is not really necessary for us to, think that being gender sensitive will in any way undermine your brand value or your saleability of products, because they are not antagonistic. They are, in fact, if you're really a creative person, you can make ads which touch the hearts of the people. For those who are cannot speak English, this particular ad, the mother is very proudly saying that I asked my son to get married because he's suffering alone in US. He doesn't even get a cup of coffee and he has to go out to fetch a cup of coffee. And the girl comes and puts the coffee maker and says that this is 24 hours coffee maker. Let him get married to her, this machine, and it doesn't require any visa, no problems. So it is just, that's something which is really amazing. ये बहुत important है. So there have been many ads which have come in the last few months or last 1 year where advertising persons are really taking a risk by touching issues which are not touched earlier.
Many things make the complete man. Being there is just one of them. Raymond, the complete man.
So I would like to conclude by saying that if we have the wish, there is a way. And communication is all about doing the right things the right way. And we need to keep working with every kind of communicator. And it is not just enough to say, oh, I have made a good film on girl child. No. Whether it is for promoting agrochemicals or for any product, the communication should have its roots in gender sensitivity and gender equality. So with this, I would like to close my presentation.
Do you want to sit from here? Our next speaker is someone whose work I admire enormously, Malika Dutt. She's a leading innovator in human rights, multimedia, and culture change. She's the founder, president, and CEO of Breakthrough, and shares her cutting-edge approach to transformation through speaking, writing, commentary, and game-changing multimedia campaigns.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Sharda, for that really interesting presentation. And Andrew, thank you for being my AV assistant for the day. Hi, everyone. Welcome to India. For those of you who are here from other parts of the world, it's amazing to have such an amazing, wonderful, eclectic group of people talking about how we bring men into the conversation for gender equality. This is a part of Breakthrough's work that we've been engaged in for almost a decade now. Our overall strategy brings together media, arts, and tech with community mobilization, strategic partnerships, transforming agendas, and a whole lot of monitoring and evaluation. And we bring those strategies together through campaigns that we create in India and in the United States, which is where the organization is based. And we also work in partnership with groups in other parts of the world, including in Bangladesh, Vietnam, South Africa, Nepal. I can't even remember all of the countries we're in right now. I have a whole bunch of Breakthrough people in the audience today, so hey guys, great to have you all here. About 8 years ago, we began the process of really thinking about how to challenge men to become active in challenging violence against women. And that impetus really came to us from the women that we were working with at the community level. We were doing a great deal of organizing around the intersection of domestic violence and HIV/AIDS in particular. And women kept saying to us, it's fantastic that we're doing all of this transformational empowerment work at the community level with women, but where are the men? And so we went to Ogilvy, who is our creative advertising agency partner, and we said, we really want to figure out how we bring men into the conversation on the issue of domestic violence. A challenge, because violence against women in the home is happening behind closed doors, is seen as a private matter. How do we encourage a dynamic and a conversation that really brings men into the frame, not just as perpetrators, but as part of the solution? And I'd like to share a short video with you about the campaign that emerged from that work, which is called Bell Bajao, or Ring the Bell.
हिम्मत कैसे हुई तुम्हारी? How dare you?
क्या किया मैंने?
क्या किया? झूठ बोलने की आदत पड़ गई है तुमको? Just because I don't say anything. तुमको बस एक ही भाषा समझ में आएगी, एक ही. एक और बार अगर ऐसा हुआ ना तो मैं
एक फोन कर सकता हूं? हेलो जी, हाँ मैंने ही फोन किया था.
जैसे हम लोगों के पड़ोस में भी काफ़ी घटनाएं होती हैं और हम लोग उसको नज़रअंदाज कर देते हैं, उसको इतनी ज़्यादा गंभीरता से नहीं लेते हैं. लेकिन जिस तरह से बेल बजाओ के द्वारा हम लोगों ने जाना कि उन चीज़ों को भी हम देखना चाहिए.
हमारे बगल में हुई थी लड़ाई, हस्बैंड वाइफ में हो रही थी, तब मैं उनके यहाँ बेल बजाने गई और उनसे कहा, और मैंने उनके यहाँ चाय पत्ती मांगी थी. हमारे जिया जी आए थे तो उनके यहाँ फिर लड़ाई बंद हो गई और तब उनके यहाँ तक अभी तक लड़ाई नहीं.
इस ट्रेनिंग के बाद मुझमें वो हिम्मत सी आई है और मैं और भी जो महिलाएं आती हैं उनमें भी मैं वही हिम्मत डालने की कोशिश करती हूँ कि अपने आप को एक स्ट्रांग बनाओ, अपने आप में एक हिम्मत लाओ, जो कि मुझ में अब आ चुकी है।
I'm Ban Ki-moon, Secretary General of the United Nations. Millions of men and boys in many countries are stopping this violence just by lifting one finger. In Hindi, it is called Bell Bajao, which means ring the bell.
Sao tôi đi làm đây? Hả?
Thank you.